We are rolling.
Good morning. Welcome back to The Conversation. This is Pointing Out the Obvious. This is our news and politics webcast, our daily take on what's buzzing today. I'm your host, Patrick Russell, and over there is my very opinionated producer, Veronica. Together, we're here to quip and quiver through today's headlines, searching for the real, no matter how deep in the swamp we need to go. Happy Freaky Friday to you, Veronica.
Happy Friday.
A disturbing story coming out of the U.S. military. The United States Marine Corps has become the first armed branch service to actually discharge service members for disobeying their commander-in-chief's orders in getting the COVID-19 vaccination. So far, we've got 100 service members from the Marines that have been kicked out for disobeying orders because of what I believe is just political grandstanding by these service members, once again putting their political ideology above the readiness of the force to which they swore an allegiance to, signed on the dotted line, if you will. And so I fully support all of the armed forces in their need to show that when you get an ordered troop, it's sir, yes, sir, not only if it doesn't violate my personal space, my personal ideology. No, sir, no. It's got to be a definitive, sir, yes, sir. I believe that what's really worse about this whole situation is that there's absolutely no ground for these service members to really be standing on. Why do I say that? Well, first and foremost, anybody that's been in the military knows that they are a pincushion for up to 20 to 30 shots, half of which you don't know what's going into your body. I being one, I'm okay. Oh, wait. But the reality is this: you join the military, there is an expectation that you are going to get vaccinated for many things. Yeah. And you are. So getting one more shot in the arm isn't like it was breaking new ground. You hear me on that?
Yeah, because like you say, you don't even know how many vaccines they put into you.
Absolutely.
Once you want to join, right? So
100%.
I am glad that they're being discharged because once again, if you in the Army, Navy, whatever the force is, you're there to say yes, sir, yes. So I'm glad, and I'm glad that they got discharged.
So we're talking also about, what about this medical concerns? What medical concerns can you possibly have when right now the entire U.S. Marine Corps is at this point 95% vaccinated? 9 out of 10 soldiers have gotten the shot. Same for the Army, Air Force, and the Navy. They're between 97 and 98%. We are talking about a small segment of service members that are putting their own personal political ideology in front of the needs of the country and in front of the needs of their contractual obligation that they swore to, right? How do we know that? Because their buddy next to them got inoculated, showed up to work the next day fine. His staff sergeant, his brigade commander, his general of the installation, and now obviously his commander-in-chief all have gotten inoculated, and everybody showed up to work right after lunch. So your scare and fear of a medical situation is obviously bogus too.
Question. So going on the legal side a little bit more. Once,
as much as we can.
I mean, as much as we can. We're not lawyers. This is not a paid consultation, okay? So, once you enroll into the Army or Navy, whatever that is, do you sign a contract? The answer is yes. And do you remember what the contract said as far as the?
Yes, I remember reading till 2:00 in the morning all of the small print on the enlistment contract. No, unfortunately, you just take it on faith that they're gonna the recruiter. What the recruiter told you is actually what's going to happen. You take that on faith.
Do you think they're going to sue the government?
Absolutely, 100%.
Do you think they will win?
So here's what's really unique about this situation as well. Depending on the type of discharge, now there's several different types of discharge. Now the normal one being, of course, an honorable discharge, but then you have the dishonorable discharge, a bad conduct discharge. But you're right. You have medical separations, right? Special circumstances separations. But then you also have the other than honorable discharge. I mean, these are legal records that follow you beyond the military that could either work against you as far as future employment, school, or even loans, you know? And so There's absolutely no question that depending on the discharge that these service members got kicked out on, if it's something that they can create a complaint argument that it's costing them some economic loss, oh, you bet your bottom dollar. We haven't heard the last of these service members right now. Only 100, but service members from the U.S. Marine Corps have been kicked out, but the likelihood is that we're talking about a couple thousand, that more than likely between the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, and the Marine Corps, couple thousand to 2,700 is what they're looking at, that may ultimately have to face the discharge acts. And I say I support that 100%.
Yeah, me too. So my last point is, now they're saying, no, I don't want to get vaccinated. Obviously, they got this charge. But see, they're going to still probably sue the government. But in the other hand, if they were to be sent to like Africa or some other country and they were to die because of COVID, and then now what? They're going to sue anyway. So, I mean, these are just crazy people that are looking for excuses to not follow the rules. And that's what they're there for. I mean, you join the army, you have to say yes to what the medical says. And
just your orders.
Yeah.
If you were given an order,
yes, sir. That's the only
soldier,
thing that you have to say.
You need to follow that order. All right, guys, there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer, but there definitely is your opinion. Please don't just subscribe to this channel, even though we will be doing this back and forth on a daily basis. But lend your voice to the show. It'll make it a whole lot more fun. Guys, it doesn't matter if you lean to the right. It doesn't matter if you lean to the left. As long as you're treating the person in front of you kindly, you just made the world a better place. TGIF, everybody.